Hi, I'm Ryan and welcome to my schizophrenia vlog. It's been a few weeks since I made a video. I kind of fell off the map for a while. I've been working with my therapist about dealing with thoughts and memories that cause anxiety or make me cringe or get embarrassed. And then a couple weeks went by with no bad thoughts, and which was kind of curious. And then last week, they all came back, and since then my anxiety's been through the roof. So I'm in a new role at my job. I still run the substance abuse group during the week, but on the weekend, instead of working third shift, I work first shift, and it's a transitional home. It's for people who have a mental illness. And since then, the clients have asked me a lot of questions, and since then I've been open that I have a mental illness, which I hadn't been up to that point. But they don't know what that illness is. For my own privacy reasons, and they don't know what drug I was addicted to, and but they've known I'm a drug user since I started running the group a long time ago. So I'm not open about my specific mental disorder with anyone at work, and I was in supervision with my boss last week, and he started telling me about how he's having problems with some of the employees in a different department who were basically being kind of mean and discriminatory to the clients at that other department. And so I decided to tell him the story. I think I've told the story on here before. One time I went to the hospital and I was having panic attacks. This is going back from a few years since when I used to have panic attacks. I didn't really need to be in the hospital. I was just looking for like a second opinion, and it was just an easy, quick fix for that. So this nurse interviewed me, and she seemed nice enough, and then she walked away and she went into the head psychiatrist's office, and the door was left open, and I overheard them, and she had said something like, he thinks he can be a counselor. And then obviously, like, that was a ridiculous comment, and I was just trying to point out that discrimination was everywhere. And but that, as far as that comment, like 6 months after I finished school, I had a job in the field. I mean, it's totally ridiculous to be discriminatory like that. So the next day we had our once a month staff meeting at work, and I got there a few minutes early, and my boss was saying that the vice president of clinical operations is going to be here, and I said, you know what? The one day I choose to wear jeans is the day that he shows up. And my boss said, it's all right, you know, I'm wearing jeans, and look, Tony's wearing jeans, and so I felt a little bit better about that. We're really not supposed to wear jeans, but not everybody listens to that. So during the meeting, my boss asked me to say a few words about one of the clients who's kind of turning things around a little bit as far as what he wants out of treatment, and whether he's going to drink alcohol once he leaves the program or not. So I did, and my boss knows I have really, really bad anxieties, but so he called on me to talk about him for a few minutes, and instead of talking to my coworkers, I just locked on to a stare at this guy who was vice president, and it was kind of embarrassing. I realized I was doing that, and I stumbled through my words at one point, and I think I said something really weird, or it didn't make sense. I just kind of couldn't think of anything to say, so I blurted something out, and so anyway, over the weekend, it kind of sat with me, and like I said, my anxiety all week has been, had been through the roof, and that didn't help situations, and I was thinking about it all weekend until I went back to see my therapist on Monday. I've also been having cravings for alcohol. Like on Monday nights, I go over to my mom's house for dinner, and as I leave, I pass this little convenience store, and they sell beer in there. And a couple weeks ago, I drove by and I said to myself, "Wow, beer!" And I thought about drinking for a minute. And what I did was I kind of took the craving and did something called urge surfing, which is let it sit until it passes. Just ride it out until it passes. And eventually, I said to myself, one night of drunken stupidity is going to cost me more than it's worth. because after one night, I'm probably not going to want a second night, but if I continue, it's going to be a problem. So sometimes when I drank, I would consider it self-medication due to my anxiety. When people with anxiety or depression drink, it helps them deal with the feelings that they're having rather than getting anxious or depressed. Unfortunately, what ends up happening is you just make it worse. And instead of having one problem, you have two problems. But I think for the most part, most of my drinking was just to get drunk, just to lose reality for a couple of hours. So I was wondering, do you have anxiety? How do you cope with it? Do you self-medicate? Those can be important questions, especially if you have something like anxiety or depression, which a high percentage of people who do have alcohol or drug problems actually also have anxiety and or depression. So let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching and have a great week.